Hello, everybody, and welcome to Innovations in Health. I'm John DeSciullo. The mini dental implant could change your life, and the man that can do it for you is from the Mini Dental Implant Center of Brooklyn, Dr. Rodney Leibowitz. Dr. Leibowitz, welcome to Innovations in Health. The mini dental implant and innovations in dentistry like no other. It changes people's lives.
It really, paradigm shift in dentistry, complete paradigm shift.
You have some examples in front of you because when we talk about the mini dental implant, some patients actually have dentures. And those dentures, as we've come to know, the gum and the denture kind of slip and slide, and you have to use all that horrible goop to keep it together. But this takes an upper or a lower and really makes it a secure, life-changing event because, like the mini dental implant, the titanium post keeps the tooth or keeps the denture in place. Show us some examples of that.
Before that, I'd like to just, show you the difference between that mini dental implant and the large diameter
Right,
implant.
the old conventional implants, and that's kind of a jawbone example.
Yeah, but it's not quite a real jawbone because it's very wide. And it's wide because there is an example. The example is, if you look closely, you'll see a giant hole. And next to the giant hole is a teeny little hole. And that's the small diameter mini implant opening. They both work. They both give you a denture that'll be able to be put in your mouth and stay with tremendous stability and not move around. The difference, the large diameter, gonna take you a year till you can start using the denture. The small mini diameter, the day we put your implant in, we give you a denture. And that's when I'll go over to this. Now, this is a denture, but this is a denture that's been made specifically to house implants. The regular denture you usually see is totally covered over here by the palate.
Covers your taste buds.
Covers your palate, covers your taste buds. You gotta relearn how to talk when it's put in because there's something different now. And that's, well, people get by. But do you wanna get by or you don't wanna live? I think people wanna live. The difference between this and the regular denture is also the cream, the denture cream you need. Because, well, you're fighting gravity with an upper denture.
Sure.
And in a lower denture, it in itself, you're not fighting gravity, you're just fighting the fact that it's a very small piece that holds the denture, so it floats around. So you need denture cream, and denture cream is awful. One, it's the most pleasant tasting material. Two, it flows and goes into your body. I've heard cases where people have had something in their intestines and perhaps cancer, and when they're opened up, it's denture cream.
No kidding.
It collects inside the intestine. Now, putting these small diameter mini implants is similar to putting the large diameter conventional older implant. And the implant is placed into the bone. The difference is when this implant is placed into the bone, that very same day, either a new denture or your old denture can be retrofitted to fit onto the implants.
And it snaps right in. It has this great secure snug fit.
It snaps in and
like
that goes nowhere. This is security. This is your confidence back. This is your taste buds back. This is life. The other way, you're getting by. You know, when you have a full denture, it's said that you live a less of a life expectancy than you have your own teeth. Because first of all, one, you can't really chew your food as well. Two, you don't enjoy your food as well. It's almost like it's enough. Having this, you talk better because nothing floats around. Having this, you can get into an argument without your dentures flying out. I'm sure all of us have a story of someone, yeah, I saw this guy arguing and his denture went flying.
Right, how embarrassing.
It's more than embarrassing,
Yeah,
it's gross. Now we have the lower, and the lower is like the top. We put in 4 small implants. We put the housings inside the denture. We then, that day, snap it on, and you go home and have a nice day.
And that could be with the existing denture that you currently have, or you could modify the denture for something that's new.
Modifying the denture, then you can almost have the denture done with the implants the same day you come in, because modification of a denture is pretty simple.
And the other examples that you have there, you can take a full set of teeth or just a single tooth or a few teeth in the back, and the mini dental implant can work in those applications as well.
My favorite restoration is when we replace your teeth that are gone with teeth. And to me, this is teeth.
And these are made of porcelain.
Well, it's different than porcelain. It's actually called zirconia.
Ah.
You've heard of zirconia diamonds,
Sure.
man-made? They're actually stronger than diamonds. Well, this is zirconia with porcelain, which is actually stronger than metal. Now, this is the same function. This is the denture. This is the caps. This is wonderful, works, confidence, great, love it, change of life. This is your third set of teeth. God gives you 2 sets of teeth. Small diameter implants, large diameter implants, whichever. They give you the third set of teeth, but these are the perfect teeth. These teeth feel just like your own teeth, but your own teeth never looked so good or felt so good.
Yeah.
Zirconia could be made to look the most lifelike that any cap has ever been made. You cement it on and that's it.
And this is an amazing procedure also for just a few teeth in the back, maybe that people tend to maybe forget about, or a single tooth in the front. Because, you know,
My favorite case, I know I sound like my grandchild, my favorite, but my favorite case is when the kids, the adults, on their bicycles, they're riding, they hit a rock, they fall off,
Ouch.
they tumble, they crack their front tooth, the root. And they walk in, Doc, I cracked my tooth, what do? I take an x-ray, the root's split down the center, tooth has to come out. Now before the advent of this small diameter mini implant, take out the tooth, make them something called a flipper, which is a denture for one tooth. Every time you eat, you take it out, put it in, it looks terrible, it breaks. You gotta sometimes stay with that for a year. Well, not anymore. A patient gets a tooth knocked out, I put my little small mini implant right in there, and then I take a tooth, which I construct in the office, and I go ahead and snap it on, and my patient's walking home with a tooth.
And we're talking about the mini dental implant, 5 times less invasive, less discomfort, less healing time, less visits to the dentist, less cost. And it's from Dr. Rodney Leibowitz, the Mini Dental Implant Center of Brooklyn, 2017 East 68th Street in Brooklyn. And remember, Dr. Leibowitz also works with Dr. Michael Kraus, one of the foremost dentists in cosmetic dentistry in Manhattan, 425 Madison Avenue, right off of East 49th Street.
John, you're right. It's 5 times less. But you know what, John? Sometimes less is more.
I like that line a lot. Less is more with the mini dental implant. And you have some other examples.
When you lose a tooth, there's an issue. You got to file down the tooth in back of it, and sometimes 2 teeth in front of it if you're missing a few teeth, and these are healthy teeth, and it was the way to do it, and it was okay to do it this way. And yes, you could have put the conventional implant, but then again, you'd be walking around without teeth for a while. Well, with the mini implant, what we do is we go ahead, instead of filing teeth, we just put implants in there. After we put the implants, the teeth go right on without touching any of the adjacent teeth to the front or the back, and you got it.
So it sort of eliminates the bridge I think we talked about.
No more bridge, and it's tight, and it fits great, and it feels great.
And I think sometimes people think, well, I have a problem in my back teeth, I don't see them, I'm not going to deal with it, I'm going to put it aside. But having that full set of teeth, very important for your dental health because you want to be able to chew your food.
Yeah, and when you lose a tooth, people take it for granted. I just lost a tooth on the bottom. Why I need a top tooth? But the truth is, teeth will extrude out of the socket in which it is till it hits something. And it won't hit anything if you don't have a tooth till it hits the bottom jaw or the top jaw. So what ends up happening is you lose your teeth on the top or the bottom, and it's kind of like the domino effect. I lost this one, and indeed, when you lose all your bottom teeth, then you chew them with your front teeth, which they weren't made to chew with. They were made for ripping, not chewing, but
Sure.
now that you're chewing, you're cracking all those guys, and there's the domino effect. You lose 1, 2, 3, you end up with no teeth.
And that is a part of life. You have to eat your food and enjoy it. You know, imagine biting into an ear of corn, an apple, a steak, and like you were saying with the denture sometimes, you don't get the right nutrients.
Very important. You need to really get your food chewed to get all the
And enjoy
stuff
it.
we like, the flavor, the zest, the vitality of life. Eating is, at least to most of us, something we really enjoy.
Particularly in New York with all the great restaurants here in Brooklyn and in the city, of course, we want to enjoy food.
Great restaurants.
Love it, love it. Now, you know, we talk a little bit about the less discomfort part, and I think we should talk a little bit about that because you're not talking about an extension of pain, you're talking about a managed situation.
The full diameter implant, again, it's wonderful. It works. But it's a piece of surgery. We're removing a large piece of bone. And most of the time we need to augment it with bone because it's a bit larger. It works beautifully, but it hurts. And there's discomfort. And none of us want you to have it, but it's a fact of life. The small diameter implant, paradigm shift. You're making a little punch. The patient barely feels anything. Now, these small diameter implants, well, they're coated with something called osseon. So the initial retention of that implant is from the winding motion into the bone. But the secondary fixing of the implant into the bone is what the osseon helps. It helps the bone actually integrate into that implant to make it even tighter. The proprietary ability of this small diameter to be coated with the osseon actually makes it a little better than the conventional implant.
Sure.
And it's a very strong piece of titanium alloy.
So if you have a little bit of discomfort, an ibuprofen or an Advil, something like that would help.
Most of the time, more than 90% of, 85, let's always tell the truth.
Good number.
85% of the time, I just tell them to take Advil liquid gels. Liquid gels, because as soon as you feel the pain coming on, if you do, it takes effect very quickly, and Advil is amazing with this. For some reason, no pain. Occasionally, they may need a little more, but that's when I do a more advanced case, where I actually take out all the patient's teeth, clean up the bone, make sure everything's healthy, put the implants in, put the temporaries on, and have them go home. Now, even though they don't swell, I've taken out sometimes 8, 10 teeth and put implants and caps on their teeth the same day. They're going to hurt a little bit. Besides that, most of the folks are really not in any serious discomfort at all.
No, and it's a very short window of time, you know, that this is going on for the discomfort. And then when you look at the care of the mini dental implant, what would be your advice, whether it be the denture or the full set or just a single tooth?
Well, with both, I recommend the water pick, because the water pick can get to places that your toothbrush can't get to.
Right.
And it's the least invasive to the gums, and it cleans them real good.
That should be good dental practice no matter what.
That's good dental practice. I'm not a big fan of flossing, because flossing can cause inflammation, and inflammation causes the body to secrete certain enzymes that cause the bone to diminish. So I kind of like the water pick to begin with. And then toothbrushing. Natural toothbrushing is the key to the kingdom when it comes to the mouth. If you brush well, and that's something we'll teach you. We'll teach you how to water pick. We'll teach you how to brush your teeth. You're given tools. It's up to you to use the tools correctly.
And we're talking about the mini dental implant with Dr. Rodney Leibowitz from the Mini Dental Implant Center of Brooklyn, 2017 East 68th Street. And remember, Dr. Leibowitz also works with Dr. Michael Kraus. He's one of the foremost cosmetic dentists. They're right in Manhattan at 425 Madison Avenue, right off of East 49th Street. And we should mention your phone number. It's 718-531-8500, 718-531-8500. And your website, dr4dk.com, which if you read it kind of funky, it's dr4dk.com. So Dr. Leibowitz, you've been a dentist practicing in Brooklyn since 1978, I believe.
Yes.
And you're from the area, you're from the beautiful area, and you've stayed here and helped so many people.
You know, my junior high school, Roy H. Mann, I graduated. It was the first graduating class. It's right across the street from my office. My house I grew up in, it's about 10 blocks away. I love Brooklyn. Met my wife in James Madison High School, love of my life. Went to Brooklyn College. Went to school in Washington, D.C., Howard University College of Dentistry. But I knew after my residency, I did that in Long Branch, New Jersey, I wanted to come home. I wanted to be where I was comfortable, Brooklyn, my home. I wanted to bring the care that I'd been taught to do and not be that guy that just, well, I hate to say it, drills them, fills them, bills them. I want to give people back their dignity. I want them to be happy. It's such a rewarding, engaging feeling for me.
And you help so many people. Let's talk about some of the patients. We have some stories that you wanted to share. Talk about Charlie.
Charlie's a great guy. Court officer, working hard, maybe 6 broken down teeth on the top. On the bottom, he had about 10 or 11 teeth that were really loose. I mean, they were floating in the wind. And Charlie didn't want to go into dentures, and that's the problem. They'll walk around with infections, loose teeth, broken teeth, but they know. They've been to other doctors. A year and a half in dentures, you'll have to live with it. I don't want a denture, I'll stay as long as I can. He heard from a friend what I did. He came in for a consultation. I explained I need to take everything out, Charlie, top and bottom. We're gonna start with the bottom first. because there's more teeth to take out, and it's going to be a longer healing time for the gums, not the implants, the gums, because the day I take out your teeth, I'm going to put implants in. And when I put those implants in, you're going to leave with temporary caps. They're going to fit and look great. Charlie was all in. That's what I did to the bottom. The top, I had to take out a few teeth. We waited 3.5 weeks. I said I'd assess it after 3.5, 4 weeks. 3.5 weeks, he came in. The temporaries I made for him, well, they served as the matrix for his gums to heal.
No kidding.
Healed beautifully. We put in his permanent caps first on the top, then we went on the bottom, put the permanent caps. Charlie's really happy. I'm really happy because he's there. He's home.
And he's feeling better about himself. And he's gotten so much more confidence, I'm sure, and he's gotten his life back.
Every time he walks in, one, he dresses GQ, he gets a gorgeous haircut. I just feel empowered.
Sure. And let's talk about Maddie, because that's another great success story from...
Maddie's a wonderful story. So Maddie walks into the office. She just walked out of another dentist's office. He couldn't get her numb. She needed a tooth extracted. She was in pain, crying. She wasn't numb. Sat her down. Now, the most important thing is the comfort level of the patient. So before I got her numb, I chatted with her. I talked with her. I got her comfortable. I said, Maddie, I'm going to paint your mouth with the jelly that makes you numb before the needle, which I did. Got her numb there, gave her a few shots. Doc, I'm numb. I said, nah, we're going to give you a little more just in case, which she loved. Did she really need it? No. But it made her feel confident that I'm sensitive for her not getting numb. Took out the tooth, looks at me, and she says, look at my mouth. Spaces, missing teeth. Oh my gosh, cracked teeth, chipped teeth, top, bottom. She goes, Dr. Rodney, I have my son's engagement party in 2 weeks. Can you put teeth in my mouth in 2 weeks? You're the first dentist I feel comfortable with. And I said, yeah, but they'll be temporaries because we gotta wait till the gums heal. I'm gonna put the implants in some areas. I'm gonna cap other teeth that are healthy. I'm gonna clean around the gum tissue. I went through the whole thing. Please do it. So the next week I did the top. And I gotta tell you, when she smiled and I saw her teeth, she started to cry. I really believe in all the years I'm a dentist, this is the first time I cried. She looked beautiful. She looked gorgeous. And then the next week I did the bottom. You know how good I felt? I mean, you can't buy this. This is life.
Yep. And you're making a difference in the lives of your patients.
She was a beautiful girl before. I told my girls in the office, they said, yeah, she had nice teeth. Magnificent. What a smile, lights up a room, but a beautiful girl.
It's a great before and after story, and that's a dramatic example.
Dramatic.
But you know, anybody that has an issue, a dental issue, because you have other dentistry that you practice there as well with your great team. Team's been there a long time with you.
My guys are with me a long time. I got Josie with me since 1980, I think. Michelle, I guess she was 4 when she started because it's 21 years she's with me and she still looks like she's 24, 25. I mean, Sherry, her husband, was a patient. She wanted to get back into the working world. I mean, the other girls, 5, 6, 7 years. We have a couple of new girls. It's hard to replace them because it's a family.
Sure.
And everyone in that family cares about our patients. You call up with a problem, they know the mantra. You'll come in if you're in pain. Absolutely, you will be taken care of immediately. I'm not going to make you wait 2 weeks.
And you give patients your cell phone number.
When I do a case that's really involved, they're scared. Well, they want accessibility. Well, you can't get more accessible than the cell phone. I want them to know they can be comfortable. When I finish a case, the last thing I tell them is, you know, we're married now. Now, in real life, I'm married, be married 44 years, November. And I tell them, I'm married 43 years, I'm a good husband. Here's the story. You need me, I will be there to provide. Do not forget that. Don't hesitate. If you don't ask me, shame on you. If you don't request, shame on you. I'm here for you. And this is how it should be.
And you work with your patients, and I know with their consultation, you bring people in and you talk to them about what the mini dental implant process is all about, what we just discussed a lot here on Innovations in Health. And you also help with pricing. If somebody comes in and they're looking for this, they really should sit down with you because you have options. It's an investment in you, but it's an investment that's important for your health and for your well-being. And you don't charge for mini dental implant consultations.
You know, my neighborhood, my dad was a truck driver. in the neighborhood, firemen, policemen, electricians, truck drivers, teachers, court officers, blue collar. This is what I grew up with. It's my family. And I came back to my neighborhood because they deserve to have the best. And I started doing certain things that were a bit more expensive, but I found a way that they can deal with it. In the early 90s, I found a company that would give them the money as a loan, but not quite a loan. They had 18 months to pay it with no interest. And the beauty of that is, you might not be able to afford $10,000, $15,000, but you could afford that payment of $300 to $400 a month. And why shouldn't you have the ability to have the best that you can have? This world is changing. We, the baby boomers, and I'm the beginning of the baby boomers, we, the baby boomers, we want a little different than our folks had.
Sure.
Our folks grew up during the Depression. Whatever they got, okay, we'll live with it. The baby boomers, we were given tools, and we chose to work with those tools, and we did the most we could, and we did well. Well, here we are getting older. There's no reason we can't have the best, and that's what we want. We want to take care of ourselves. We want to live longer. We want to be healthy, and that's where there's such a cry out for something that can replace those missing teeth and give us the confidence and the tasting of food that we've always had.
And you are Brooklyn's best, and I say that because the Mini Dental Implant Center of Brooklyn is someplace that you can go to. It's at 2017 East 68th Street, and I say you're Brooklyn's best because you're a 5-star dentist. You've been awarded high accolades, Dr. Leibowitz, and I think, Rodney, if I may call you Rodney, it's
yes,
because you
absolutely.
have this affect with your patients that I think is so magnanimous. You really go the extra mile.
They've trusted me. I love the fact they trust me. I don't want to let them down. I want them to know I'm there. The 5-star, 5-diamond award, I would never be so arrogant, so pompous to say I'm the best dentist. We all are trained to do the same thing. We get the same education. They're tools. It's how you use the tools. I'm fine. I do as good as this guy, but I'm a little different than some because some are like me too. How am I different? I really care about them.
Yeah.
And they know it, and they count on me.
And one area that I think we should mention, and I know you're a very humble man, but you were given a major award, if I may refer to it, because I think it's very important for people to know that here in Brooklyn and here in the New York City area, Dr. Leibowitz is a real hero because you were awarded by the Tri-State Law Enforcement Foundation for your work, and it was tied mostly to 9/11, but also that the work that you do with the first responders, police, and fire. It's really an incredible award, and congratulations on that. How did that come to be?
Thank you. It was actually given for the community service, a Lifetime Achievement Award. And it's funny how you write it, and I really don't think about it going back to 9/11, but what I did during 9/11, again, I was given tools and I used them correctly. 9/11, before 9/11, a year or two before, I met up with a friend of mine, and he worked with the FBI, very close association with the FBI, and he asked if I'd help him with a project, and he just wanted to bring to the forefront about there's a possibility of a terrorist attack. This is pre-9/11, and the country has to be prepared. And he asked me what I thought, and I really didn't know what to say at first, but I looked at him finally, and the light bulb goes off, the epiphany. I said, hey, John, why don't I create a course called The Health Professional's Response to the Terrorist Threat? And he goes, what do you mean? Well, you know how you have an earache on a Sunday and you go to the pharmacist and he gives you this stuff called the Ralgan to take care of the earache. It's over the counter. And you got a sore throat and you can't get to your physician and your dentist doesn't want to work on you because you got a sore throat. He tells you to go to your doctor, you got a 2-week appointment. No, your dentist gives you an antibiotic. That's our world. Well, we'll create a course called The Health Professional's Response to the Terrorist Threat. We'll make them aware how to talk to patients so nobody panics. And it was a 7 continuation credit course for pharmacists, physicians, and dentists. But to get to that level, I had to learn a lot. And I took courses all over the country, and I had a wonderful team. And when 9/11 happened, I was in my office, and I got my car, and I was deployed 100, 150, maybe 200 feet from the building. And God was kind because I lived. And, well, day 2 happened. We lost a lot of things. I watched a lot of friends pass. and I looked at the air quality. I knew it wasn't good. I learned about what happens when things get destroyed. I knew there was asbestos, glass, particles, not healthy. So on day 2, I supplied the city with the respirators that the policemen, firemen, responders used, reporters, anyone who was down there, and I was asked to field test them. I went to fresh kills where parts of the plane and evidence were being kept and rummaging through everything, and I had to fit test them, teach them how to use them. And I knew it was important, but here we are. I mean, I myself ended up with major health issues, but as a health professional, I took care of them quick. You know, you're a fireman, policeman, reporter, whatever, you don't know about these things like I did, and I took care of them rather quick. And they didn't, a lot of people, and a lot of people we're finding now are passing. Now, my respirators that I supplied, thousands of lives have been saved from the curse of mesothelioma, from the curse of emphysema. I mean, I know I live for that reason, and I look up at the Lord and say thank you. Because the truth is, I got a wonderful family, 3 great kids, great in-laws, my son-in-laws and daughter-in-law. I mean, great, but they gave me the gift from the Lord. They gave me grandchildren, which I always say, you get grandchildren as a gift from the Lord for not killing your kids.
Well, you are a true hometown hero, Dr. Leibowitz, I really have to admit, and certainly meeting you and getting to know you here with Innovations in Health, I can feel that, and I know you're very close to your patients and close to your family, and you've done so much for the community. And Mini Dental Implants, if you're interested, who better to go to than Brooklyn's best? Dr. Rodney Leibowitz at Mini Dental Implant Center of Brooklyn, 2017 East 68th Street, or at 425 Madison Avenue in New York. It's right near 49th, right?
Yes, it is.
And if you want to call, the phone number is 718-531-8500. The website, as we talked about, dr4dk.com. We've shown examples. We've shown all about the revolutionary technique. Even though you've been practicing dentistry since 1978, you're always learning, Dr. Leibowitz, aren't you?
Never stop learning. I just look forward to it because, you know what, you get old, you get tired. No, you get old, you get going. Never give up, never surrender. Do it. Go to school, learn. You're never too old. It keeps you young, keeps you crisp, keeps you fresh. You owe it to yourself, but you really owe it to your patients.
Well, you do a great job, and if you're interested in any mini dental implant procedure, Dr. Leibowitz is the man to see. Thanks very much for joining us on Innovations in Health. Continued success to you and your family.